Good evening, everyone. John and Risotto, you're welcome to Counterparts. George Batista, as always. This is the show where we spotlight conversations on creative minds. What did I say before?
You
With
no, you were saying on. You were
on.
supposed
Oh,
to
I
say
was saying
with.
on, but it should have been with. Yeah,
Yes.
I said it wrong anyway. I still mix it up. But anyway, we are very excited. This is our season finale show.
Yeah.
We've done so many episodes, and so we've had such an incredible year. George and I, we're going to talk about it. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be thanking some people. We have some surprises, some people coming on. That's going to be awesome, and we're very excited. So please come back. No, he's my cousin. I can't fire him. Just oh, um, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Counterparts. Again, thank you so much for being on here, George. What is up, my man? How you doing?
I'm excited for the show. I
Yeah,
mean, this is going to be such a cool show. I'm excited for the holidays. It's a lot of
yeah.
good stuff coming.
Yes, yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is Thanksgiving week. We're here on a
Yes.
Tuesday. We are live. It is now 7:01 here in Nashville, 8:01 in New York. And we are getting ready and gearing up for another Thanksgiving with our families and our loved ones. And Thanksgiving, there's always some controversy on Thanksgiving. Every year they should change it and name it something else and call it something else. And I'm always like, the idea of giving thanks for things you have is a good idea.
Right.
I mean, it is a good idea.
Sure.
I mean, yes,
Sure.
we should give thanks every day, and I do, and I know a lot of people do, but it's also a good idea to come together with family and give them. So anyway, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, and have a wonderful gathering with family and loved ones.
Definitely.
Um, the We're going to start off by saying some thank yous to some very, very special people that have been supporters of Counterparts since day one. And we're very, very excited that we've been able to not only influence and inspire and entertain, but we've also had an amazing the trust that they've put onto us. And we have a guest. Our first guest is here. Holy
Whoa.
cow. Oba Babatunde is here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oba Babatunde.
Yay!
All
Hey guys,
right.
how are you?
All right.
Oh,
This is
wow.
awesome. Thank you so much for being on. This was great.
Oh man, listen, the invitation was so welcome. Thank you guys for the invitation.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It was our pleasure. We George and I reference back to our conversation to the conversation we had quite often. On other shows, we talk about it because it was
Yeah.
so inspirational. We have that clip of yours that we shared like a bunch of times everywhere because it was so fantastic. So we really appreciate you and thank you for everything that you're doing.
Well, listen, the joy is mine. As I say, you guys are so kind, and I return the power to you because you see, you call that experience. This is a conversation. This is
Right.
a connection of energies
Right.
between the three of us and everyone that's viewing it. You
That's
see,
right.
so I thank you for sharing that with people. It was something that I thought was really a wonderful experience. And
Oh,
we're getting an opportunity to show love,
right.
you
Yes.
know, and what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. I think about the conversations that we had. I was listening to Billie Holiday, and it was so funny that you were talking to me about playing that. And I started singing Billie Holiday, and you go,
Yeah,
"That's the song I was playing for my daughter."
that's
You know
right.
so, I mean, everything that you guys put out, it affects me. And everything that I put out and you guys put out with each other, it affects us all. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of what we're dealing with here, is
Yes.
Yeah.
that it's reciprocal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
and and and, and it did it just as it affected you, it affected me. So when I got the call that said, "Hey, I'd like you to stop by again," I was like, "What time?"
Oh.
This
Well,
is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
it was our conversation to me was one of the most inspiring of all,
Yeah.
of all the conversations we
It
had. Just
definitely was. It
because you just
definitely
have
was.
amazing insight, to just life and in general, which was absolutely fantastic. So, absolutely, thank you so much. You are a friend of the show forever. You
Yes.
are family to us forever. Let me tell you. I tell you what. So I
And
believe
I
me. It's
and I just want to say you mentioned love, and it's the one thing that cannot be destroyed by evil,
that's right. That's right.
and that's the one thing that really gets those evil bastards like so pissed off because
Yeah,
they're
man.
like, we
Yeah,
cannot stop it, and they cannot stop love. It's the one thing that we will never give up on.
brother, I'm right with you. I was thinking, and I know you guys are familiar with this, when Nat said, L is for the way you look at me.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
O
right.
is for the only one I see.
yeah.
V is very, very extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
Ah,
yes. That is what we're
unbelievable.
talking about. Wow, thank you so
yeah,
Unbelievable.
much.
man.
Thank
It,
you,
Unbelievable.
thank you.
it's the key. It's the key. It's the key.
Yes.
It's
It
the
is.
magic power. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
Absolutely.
like you said, evil, man, I told somebody, I said, listen, evil doesn't give up. So love can never give up
that's right.
because it's the thing, as you said, that destroys it. And they
Yep.
can't take that, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just keep on pouring it out, pouring it out. And that's what you guys do. That's when people tune in and they get this power that's coming from you. It's coming from a love base. But people get it confused. Love is not weak. Love is strong.
No,
It's
Yes.
very good.
Yes.
powerful. It's
Yes.
powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Love don't wear pajamas. It ain't never sleeping.
right. That's. I like that. I like
That's a
that.
good one.
There's a T-shirt there somewhere, or a
Yeah.
bumper sticker or something.
There you go, man. That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. That's it, man.
I
Oh,
love
It's
it.
so good to spend time with you guys. I know I got a short period of time because you got so many people that are coming on, but I wanted to just jump in. I said maybe I'm not scheduled to be on to 5:15. I said, but I want to see what else is happening, and so
Yeah,
I get on, man. And there's my brothers right there.
we
You
saw
know, you
you, and I
welcome
was
me in, and
super
I
excited
just
when you came on.
I
oh,
just
unbelievable.
appreciate you so much.
Thank you, and
Thank
we
you.
Appreciate you.
definitely want you, for 2023 when you're available. We'd love to have you on again, and just keep the love fest going.
Yeah, man. Well, listen,
Yeah.
anytime, like you said, we talked about this the last time I was on, and I was saying that there's a difference between relative and family. And the reason
Right.
we can be family is because family is how one treats someone else.
Right.
See,
Right.
relatives, we had no choice. That was
Right.
our parentage, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was
Is
their
what it
choice.
is.
You know what I mean? But 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 family is how we treat one another. And
That's right.
that's why, you know, you're kind enough to say I'm family. You guys are family to me too. Know
Oh,
that.
Thank you.
Know
Thank
that.
you.
That's genuine from the heart because it is real. It's real.
yes.
It's palpable. You know what I mean? When I the moment that I saw you guys, my spirit lifted. You know, my
Oh,
spirit
We
lifted.
did
wow.
the same thing when we saw you pop in
You
there. We
know,
were
Absolutely.
like,
that's
"Yay!"
yeah, hey, that's what you give off. You give
Yeah.
Yes.
off. And
Thank
that's
you.
what I tell people all the time. I say, it's always reciprocal. That's
Right.
what you got to know. Good will return good. The
Yep.
evil will return evil. So be careful which side you align yourself with.
Right.
That's right.
Be
Right.
mindful of which side you align yourself with. And words are thoughts, and thoughts are things. So
That's
be
right.
mindful what you say. because what you say is true for you, not what someone else says about you. What you say. If you say I can, you are correct. If you say I can't, you're also correct.
That's
So
right.
be mindful of what you say. Think before you speak. We got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth.
Right.
Look, listen twice as much so that by the time you get to speak, you know that which you're speaking from. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Absolutely.
Beautifully said. Thank you. Wow. That's
Wow.
awesome.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
This
Thank you
has
so
been
much for coming on.
amazing. Thank you
It's
so
been an
much for
honor.
being on. Have a wonderful holiday season with your family and friends and everything. And yeah, we're brothers.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I always say, that I don't need a holiday to remind me to be thankful.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we were just saying that
Because
at the top of the show.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see, we're connected. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because again, I know that a lot of people went to sleep last night with the intention of waking up that did not.
Right.
Right.
So it wasn't an alarm clock that woke me up. It was a higher power that
Right.
woke me up. And if I was awakened, I must have been awakened to do something.
Right.
So I'm doing something. I'm spending time with my brothers right here.
Thank you.
And that word and these words and this energy is going out to all the wonderful viewers who you guys are blessed and blessing. The best way to receive, my own words, the best way to receive a blessing is to be a blessing.
Mm,
Because it comes back.
that's right.
It comes back. And
100%.
gentlemen, I know you got people. I'm gonna jump off, but I want you to know. I want you to know right now, in the quiet moments of your life, because we're all busy doing a lot of things. But I share this with you and the listeners and the viewers. In the quiet moments of your life, take a second to reward yourself for being someone that gave something to someone.
Mm,
Take the moment to realize that you guys are giving to a lot of people. Take a moment in the quiet moment of your life and just go, you know what? I did something good today. Pat yourself on the chest, pat yourself on the back. It's because you're going to be able to do it again tomorrow. And every time it's reciprocal. What you say, what we say goes out. It's like this pebble thrown into the still body of water. Makes the tiniest sound going in and the tiniest splash, but it creates a ripple. And that ripple doesn't just go in one direction, it goes in every direction. And even if it should come to an obstacle along its way, it will go along that obstacle until it finds an opening. It will always come to shore. So nothing that you have done or that you will do is wasted in your life, gentlemen. Nothing. Nothing. It all is of great value. Hold on to the fight. Hold on to the fire. Be fearless and courageous. Be fearless and courageous, no matter what it looks like. Be fearless and courageous. All right, my brothers?
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, I want to kind of just fly right now. I think we
You're
are
amazing.
flying.
You're
Oba,
amazing.
thank you so much for being
Thank you
on.
for being here.
Thank you so much.
It was
Have a
an
happy
honor.
holiday.
An
Happy
honor and a
holidays
joy.
to you.
Thank you
again
for
soon.
inviting me. And I'll be
It's
back.
Anytime.
It's all right.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
You're not getting rid of me now.
No way. No way.
All right.
Take care.
Blessings,
God
brothers.
bless. Bye
Have a
bye.
good day, man.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was awesome.
You see, and that's one of the things I could say I'm so thankful for, because thankful for you, John, thankful for this show, and thankful for opportunities that we have to talk to gentlemen like that who could just inspire not only us, but inspire everyone.
And you want to introduce who's on waiting to come on?
Uh-oh. Holy cow.
Hey!
John LaRocchia! There he
John
is!
LaRocchia is on in the house.
For letting me follow Oba Baba Tunde.
That's
So
right.
we put the Kofi fireman on. We got Oba. What love woke him up, not the alarm clock. My freaking dog woke me up. He has these beautiful things What am I going to say? Woof, woof.
Oh,
He's got the nice shirt. I got the T-shirt. How
No,
do I
no.
follow that? How do I follow that?
You're
I
gonna
love
follow
that.
it by making us laugh, making us happy,
Oh.
and just being you.
I
Awesome.
love. Look, I don't know if you can see my name. I changed my name to
I
Johnny
saw that.
Oba Larokia. I changed it after I met him. I was going to tell him. I hope he's still watching. Hey guys, how are you?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. 5
That's
minutes. You
beautiful,
say I got
right?
5 minutes. My name takes 3 minutes to say.
Look at that. Hi,
Yeah.
John. She says, hi,
Hey
John.
Michelle, how are you?
Oh, man. How's
Wow.
everything going with you, man?
It's so nice for you guys to have me back. She said, hey, they want to have some of their favorite people back. So they're gonna have you on for 5 minutes. I go, wait a second. Are the favorite people getting 20 minutes and I'm the least favorite? Am I the least favorite? We'll give give them 5 minutes.
No.
We just drew out of a hat. We swear. It was
We
just
wanted to eat something for when somebody's on. Put them on. I got to tell you one thing we did recently with the foundation. Right after 9/11, I had a rough 9/11 this year mentally, and I needed to do something. So I didn't. I went to a simple ceremony, and then I rented a car that night. And this is all booked in advance. And I drove to Ohio 8 hours, and I met out with the Kent Fire Department. Kent State University, the famous college shooting. We brought laughter where there were tears. The foundation was sponsor of the show. We raised money with a local organization, bought 94 pairs of shoes and 94 coats for kids who would not have this winter.
wow.
I did that in memory of my guys lost on 9/11, and because of 9/11, I will never, ever forget.
Wow. That's
Unbelievable.
wow.
cool.
Amazing.
That was cool.
Man.
Very
Amazing.
impressive.
Yeah,
Well done,
thanks,
John. That's
thanks.
awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
Turkey Day is coming up, the big Turkey Day.
Yeah.
In fact, tomorrow, Laughter Saves Lives is driving to the local food pantry here in Hempstead, and we're going to give them a few bucks in memory of my guys to help with their holiday give out.
That's awesome.
I wanted to do more. I wanted to have a night collecting food, and I said I never got it together.
Yeah.
So let me just drive there and give them some cash.
There you go.
Because they can use it.
Right.
You know, they can use it.
Absolutely. And I know we've been we chatted a little bit via email, and we were trying to kind of like get our schedules in order. I've had I think this 3 weeks in a row we're kind of like super swamped, but I still want us to like have a conversation whenever when you're available.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will do that this week. We're in the process of booking a show out in the LA area.
Oh, okay.
We're going to try to work it around Oba's schedule. We want Oba there with some friends. We're going to raise some money for local veterans charity. Network a little bit with the screenplay and the foundation and a docuseries we're working on, and just have a really feel-good night. And it'd be cool if we could do it if Oba could come, because as you see, this man inspires me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Send if you have, when you get the information, send it to us and we could send it to them, and
Okay.
we'll see what they can do.
Yes.
Awesome.
I will.
Good stuff. Well, John, we really appreciate when you were on. Your inspiring story was really just incredible to us, and it was one of those things where we don't take things for granted because we hear stories like this. And I think that's really one of the biggest things that we can give to others, is to show them, how grateful someone someone can be, and how giving someone can be, and how difficult it is for even you today. After so many years, you're still, it's amazing.
But guys like you just had Oberon, and it's so true. I just love meeting people, the simple things of saying hello to someone when it's so easy to walk past people.
That's right.
Starting a conversation with someone. And sometimes people don't, whatever reason, it's fine. I talk to everybody, but I love that feeling of meeting somebody new. You're not asking them for anything. They're not asking you for anything. It's just, hey, how you doing? Oh, what are you buying there? Blah, blah, blah. Make them smile a little bit and laugh. My son always makes fun of me because I try to make people laugh, and sometimes I'm a little corny, you know. And what my son and my kids call that is, oh yeah, that was pretty funny. But you know what? Sometimes I'm corny, but if it makes somebody smile, it's
That's
all right.
right.
It's
That's
all right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had something like that when we were kids. Do you remember that, George? We would go like this. We would go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was that
That's
was our.
right.
Yeah. It's all fun.
Uh,
It's all good. It's all good.
John,
Oh,
thank you
wow.
so much for stopping by. We really, really appreciate you. And next, we're gonna chat, of course, but next year we'd definitely love to have you on. Keep us posted on what you're
Yeah,
working on, and
absolutely.
we will
Yes.
definitely share
We
it on
will have
our
some
on our
updates.
platforms.
And tomorrow, if I may say, Laughter Saves Lives live. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have on a hero, and then we're going to hit up some people in their kitchen cooking. My 90-year-old aunt who made my holidays wonderful. We're going to
Wow.
zoom into her kitchen. We're zooming into my kitchen with my wife and my daughter and creating some laughs and seeing what they're doing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Oh,
great, man.
that's
is
gonna be a lot of fun.
Guys,
All
you're the
right.
best.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
Everybody
very
check
much.
out John. Thank you
Next
so
Thank you,
time,
much.
let Oba go up after me, please.
Yeah.
We'll try to do that.
You're awesome. You're
All right.
awesome.
Take care,
Thanks.
John.
Take
Take
care,
care,
guys.
John. Oh, that was awesome. Wow.
Look at that. It's
Woo. That was so cool. Wow. So we were thanking people, and then we had these amazing humans come on, and we did send out a lot of there were a lot of people that we really had great conversations with, and we've loved everything. I don't think, George, we've had, how lucky are we? We had we had all great guests, like literally every single show was like we were finishing, we were like, my God, that was like amazing. It
Yeah.
was like such a great show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we really, really super blessed. But unfortunately, a lot of people were busy, and it was difficult to schedule them in stuff. So we might have a few people coming in as we're here for maybe another 40, 45 minutes. But yes, that was fantastic. As we were saying, we were thanking. I want to give some thank yous to some of our supporters here, because we've had an incredible year, and it was really due to these individuals that we're going to be thanking here. The first is Leslie Diana from the promotion people. She's been, I mean, she's been like almost like a partner
Yes,
of
definitely,
Counterparts,
definitely.
because she's the thing is that we really appreciate the trust that they have, in to give us their clients and make sure that, and know that we're going to take good care of them, and that
Right.
we're going to make sure that we have stimulating conversations, and that they're going to leave here feeling good. They have that trust, and Leslie has been that way since day one, and she's brought some incredible guests to us, and she's very, very generous with her clients, and so we're really, really grateful, and we're looking forward to doing more in 2023.
Yep.
So definitely thank you, Leslie, very, very much.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Tracy Harper from Harper PR. By the way, all these things will be in the description. We're going to be linking everybody and tagging everybody and stuff. But Tracy Harper from Harper PR, also, she came on here. She also was mentioning Oba as well. And very, very grateful, again, for the trust that they have, letting their clients come in, knowing that they're going to come to a place where they're going to have a good time.
Yes.
We're going to have a good conversation. We're
Right.
not going to get, we get deep.
Yes, we do.
Right. We get very philosophical.
Yep.
But we're always very, very kind,
Right.
because we love doing this, and we appreciate our guests. So, thank you so much, Tracy, for trusting us with your clients, and we really appreciate it. And 2023, we're here again. We're starting mid-January. We have already kind of a few people that are we're going to schedule in that we have, but we have a whole year, and we're going to announce something in a little bit later, also on some other fronts. Lastly, but certainly not least, we want to thank Nicola Pender from Pender PR, who's also been tremendous, sending us wonderful guests our way, and also trusting us that we'll take good care of them.
Yes.
That's a big thing. So thank you all, everyone from these organizations. And what can I say? I mean, super grateful,
Yeah, absolutely. They're, and I think with all the guests that have been on, I mean, I think they've all said that they've had a great time being on the
Yeah,
show.
man, you have no idea how grateful I am when I hear that, because that's one of the biggest fear,
Yes.
it's because I watch a lot of interviews, obviously, because I do this and I'm interested in conversation, obviously.
Mhm.
And so I watch a lot of other podcasts and stuff. And, I mean, I think they're all fine and they're having a good time, but I really wanted to go that extra mile
Yes.
to not only to make them laugh, to really entertain them, to really dive into them, and
Yes.
that's why we say spotlight conversations with creative minds. I mean, we
Correct.
want to spotlight them. We want people to know what their journey is like. And then we want to experience that because we learn so much. I mean, how long is our conversations after each show?
Oh, forget about it.
We are literally like this for like another hour because we're so inspired by the guests that we just spoke about.
Well, then, and that's the thing, because we can relate to them as well, because we've been on our journeys, right? As musicians,
and are.
Yeah, and still are, right? As musicians, and what we're doing, even with this show is a journey. So, we can relate to them and say, hey, we're on our own journey. We want to know about your journey, and then there's people that are listening to the show want to know about the journey as well, because there's people that are just starting the journey.
Right.
And if they can hear some inspiring words from whether it's them or us or both, or just the conversation, and they can hear that and say, oh, you know what? I can do this. I can take that extra step. I can. It changes people's lives.
And it also like stimulates the mind, because how many ideas have we had from having these conversations?
Right.
You know
Exactly.
I mean? We hear, oh, wow, that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Because, and that's really the hope that we have, is that people are inspired to have their own ideas,
right.
By the conversations that we're having. So definitely very, very grateful, for that support. We also want to thank our sponsor, that's been our sponsor for the whole year, pretty much, for Wellness Resources, Mary L. Richards,
Yes,
who is the CEO, right, founder of
founder
Wellness
and
Resources.
CEO of Wellness Resources, and they have been such a great company with us, and with my wellness show, that's where kind of everything started. And they make amazing supplements. They're a family owned, homegrown supplement company, by the way. And one of the questions I asked, because I had Marielle on my show once, one of the questions I asked was like, you guys never sold out to one of these big corporations. And she said, we don't intend to, because it's about our people, it's about our customers first.
Right.
So that's what, so they're an amazing company. Again, myvitaminresource.com is their website. Check them out. Again, if you put in Counterparts, you can get free shipping on the orders. And they, by the way, they also have for the month of November, they have their 25% off on their immune supplements. So definitely take advantage of that, because we all know, obviously, we want to stay healthy for the winter. And their supplements, I guarantee you, they're top-notch supplements. I've been using these supplements, John, by the way, for close to 17 years now.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, 17 years.
Wow.
And, I've tried other companies, and honestly, this is the only company I go back to, because I feel the difference when I take these supplements. So, hats off to Wellness Resources and Marielle and the folks out there. I salute you guys, and thank you for being such a great sponsor.
Cool. Awesome. Yes. Thank you very much. That's awesome. And we'll continue that relationship moving forward as well. I also want to give thanks to it's like we're
like the Academy.
I need to thank my publicist. I want to thank my hairstylist. I want to thank my goatee trimmer.
They like me.
They really like me.
Really like me.
No, but this is actually personal for me and George, because we really want to thank our wives, Pamela and Mina, Pamela, my wife, and Mina, George's wife, and our kids for really supporting us. I've basically taken over our home for the show. Right. We in New Jersey, we had a much bigger place, and when we moved here to Nashville, we have a a smaller place. It's nice, it's great, it's gorgeous, but it's smaller. And so anyway, I took basically the whole living room. Is half of the living room anyway. It's pretty much mine. So and we have two kids, and sometimes we have kids visiting, and it can get a little noisy. So my wife steps in and she helps out as much as she can. She tries to keep them. So I want to thank Pamela, my wife, for putting up with me, and George, Mina. Your daughter's older, so she's more chilled out. But just the fact that she loses you every Tuesday night for a few hours.
Yep.
And even before that, because you and I are kind of like always, we talk every day on this.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
No, they've been agreed, extremely supportive of us. All the equipment and buying this, and
You don't
and-
want to know what this looks like right now.
exactly. Honey, I gotta upgrade this. Honey, I'm gonna get this. Honey, packages coming in the mail and I gotta hook it up and all these things. So
Yeah,
again, she gets flashbacks to the first musician days when buying this for the drums and that for the
Yeah.
studio and this and all that. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but
thank you.
I mean, that's part of like, being an artist, being
Yes.
somebody who's a creative person, you're gonna, and we've talked about this in the past, when you marry an artist, you've married someone that may drive you crazy at times. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And to be honest with you, if you're not driving your partner, if you're an artist and you're not driving your partner crazy to some degree, then you're not trying hard enough.
You're not doing anything.
You're
Right.
not doing it right.
Yeah.
You have to push. We have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's part of being an artist and being creative, and also getting the message out and trying to help other artists
Exactly.
do the same. That's really important. So, so yes, thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Mina. Thank you to all the kids and stuff. Appreciate y'all very much. So we have 3 questions that I wrote down, George, to kind of talk about the year.
It's exciting.
And the first exciting. So exciting. The first question is, what have we learned in this past year? Now, let's backtrack a little, because you and I, full transparency, when we started this show, it was a Star Trek
show.
themed show. We were only going to talk about Star Trek.
And we did.
And we did quite a few shows, actually,
Yes.
and it was fun. But also, if you remember correctly, our tagline for the show was building the bridge between Star Trek and everything else.
Yes. Right.
So it basically was a reference to how George and I grew up watching Star Trek. We're both Star Trek nerds. And I remember the conversations that you and I used to have about Star Trek and how it actually played out to our current life. This is as us as kids,
Right.
and even as us as adults, we continue this conversation. It was just like a very interesting thing of how because Star Trek had, in my opinion, it had very complicated characters. Captain Kirk and Picard and all, they were very complicated. So it was very interesting to see these complicated men and women with Janeway be leaders, but still have all these conflicts and still have all this stuff that they're dealing with. And that's life.
Yes.
That's life.
Yes.
If you want to be a leader, it doesn't mean that you're going to lead and you're going to levitate around.
Correct.
You're going to lead by running into things and knocking them down and then trying to fix things and trying to help people. And that's what being a leader is about. So that's one of the reasons why we started the show initially. We had a great time, but then somewhere along the line, we were like, we have these great conversations, and sometimes our conversations didn't talk that much about Star Trek.
Right.
We
It was
ended
life.
up talking about life and talking
Yes.
about philosophy, which kind of like makes sense. And then we had guests that were from Star Trek. We had a couple of guests that were in Star Trek, some of the films and some of the TV shows. We had some great guests, that were on the original series, right? We had some really cool guests. And then we decided, we really want to have more conversations about other things, and we're both musicians. I'm a filmmaker. George is a wellness specialist. So we have a lot that we bring to the table.
Right.
So counterparts, the definition of counterparts is one that closely resembles another. And we
Mhm.
thought, well, that is pretty much what we want to do. We
Yeah.
want to talk about things that resemble other things,
Right.
and sometimes when you're dealing with music, you can get philosophical. When you're
Yes.
dealing with film, obviously you get philosophical. When you're dealing with wellness,
Mhm.
definitely you get philosophical because you're talking
Right.
about mind, body, spirit, right?
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things that really can cross. It's a crossroad. We hit a crossroads basically, and we
Mhm.
decided that we were going to make this shift. And when
Yes.
we made the shift, we had no idea that we were going to be blessed with the year that we had, because we
You-
thought we'd have a couple of guests and maybe one week, if we don't have, we try to, but we started booking and it just kind of snowballed where we were booked 2 or 3 months in advance,
Right.
which was something that we thought, my God, this is unbelievable. It's like,
Yeah.
and it was great because then George and I could actually spend the week researching our guests, seeing their work, getting down what we're going to talk about, George with his questions and me with my kind of like mess here that I like to kind of like my notes. And it just gave us a lot of time to do that in order to really serve the guest and the audience,
Right.
And that's where Counterparts really, really grew. It was really this year, even though we started it in 2021, it was really 2022. And I actually was doing a show in 2020 where I
Yeah.
did like over 100 guests, I think, on that in that year. But the level of guests and the level of conversations that we were able to have this year just was incredible.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we were talking. It's hard to even pinpoint any one moment, but like having Oban and John, these were two amazing conversations that we had. But then we can go back and we could talk about, talking to Kevin Eubanks and Kenny Aronoff and Steve Smith,
Lee Haney.
Lee Haney, Sydney Scotia, who was on, and we had a
Mhm.
great conversation with her. I mean, we were
Yep.
laughing. It was such a great
Yeah,
conversation.
that was a fun one.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Didi Pfeiffer
Yes.
was on.
Yes.
So it was just on and on with amazing guests, and we were really blessed. So when I say what have we learned, like what is that? What have you learned, George?
Oh my gosh, what haven't I learned? First of all, I learned, honestly, I learned about, for us, the perseverance of actually doing a show like this and actually growing it.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because
That we can
you're
do it.
absolutely right. When we first started it, I was like, there's no way we could get it to, if you would have told me now that what we've done a
Probably look
year
like
ago,
this.
no way.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how it's grown, and it's because part of the reason is because we've persevered, and there's been, you and I have had frank conversations of like, okay, is anybody listening? How is this going? Should we keep doing this? What should we change? Right? We've had these conversations, and we kind of were support systems for each other, right?
Oh, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
there were doubts that came in and saying,
A lot
okay,
of it.
do we want, so I think that was a big, huge thing for me to
Yeah.
learn that, but also from the guests. Every time we would talk to a guest and they would share their journey and what they went through,
Man,
it would completely
100%.
right. It would
Yeah.
it would just like
completely
say,
elevate us to like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah,
Why are we thinking
exactly.
about numbers and things like, you know what I mean? It's like, look at what this individual
Right.
was able to accomplish,
Right.
with challenges and with uncertainties, everything that all the struggles that you and I have had,
Yep.
throughout the year, these guests have all been facing it. And you know what? Everyone on earth faces those,
Yes.
faces, obstacles and challenges, and they have to persevere or succumb, right?
Yeah.
And, one of the early things that I remember was that you and I were talking about was not so much the numbers, but it was like, what are we doing? Who
Right.
are we servicing?
Right.
Who's our audience?
Yes.
And that's what people used to ask us, and it was like, well, who's our audience? Well, we say, well, everybody, and it's like, well, is it for artists? Is it for entrepreneurs? Is it for, people who like, motivational things? And then I just said to myself, the the question is incorrect. We're no longer at a point in this space doing what we're doing, this kind of content. We're no longer in that place where the conversation has to be who's your audience, because yes, you have to find out if you're selling mugs. A mug is for pretty much for everybody, right?
Right.
Nobody asks a mug maker who's your audience.
Right.
Well, thirsty people. Yeah, there you go. Star Trek. Star Trek
Yes.
mug. George
Yes.
just put up for those who are listening. So there, that's my what my realization was that no, we are entertainers.
Mhm.
That is what we do. We entertain.
Right.
We also want to. I know we had certain words. The word education is been skewed, and it's been kind of perverted in a way that, because our school system calls it education, and sometimes we may disagree with that, right?
Right.
So what do we mean? Well, we mean awareness raising. We
Mhm.
want to raise awareness on something,
Right.
or maybe bring something to light. It doesn't, you know what I mean? If you want to call it education, fine, call it whatever you want. But we want to just bring an opportunity, a possibility of something,
Right.
And then the lastly is our guests. We ask them to, some words of wisdom, some words of encouragement to our audience,
Mhm.
And then we decided, those are the three things that we actually focus on, and
Yeah.
if somebody's interested in that. Now, not everybody is going to be interested in. You and I talk about this, like we talk about Joe Rogan a lot, right? Because
Yes.
we admire Joe Rogan and what he's done. Obviously, he's got the #1 podcast in the world. So, we kind of look at that and we're like, wow, it's pretty amazing. But how does he do it? He books his own guests.
Mhm.
He picks the ones he wants to talk to.
Right.
He talks to them for as long as he wants to.
Right.
He asks whatever questions he wants to ask. You know what I mean? There's a freedom there,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that freedom is what George and I really are looking for. We really want the freedom, because not everyone. I don't tune into Joe Rogan to really always think about what guests are going to be on. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I don't do that. I think about not only the guests, but sometimes I'm not interested in all the guests that they're going to have on. You know what I mean? But yeah, and oh my God, but we have Mr. Kevin Eubanks just logged in. Let's bring him up, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Eubanks in the house.
Unbelievable.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for bringing me back.
Absolutely.
Man, oh, man.
We were so thrilled when they said, yeah, Kevin wants to be on. We were like, what? Like, yes.
Oh, man.
Again, both here. It's good to see everybody.
Well,
Whoa. Okay, here we go.
All right. Ta-da. All right.
There you go.
We make sure it happens on there. We're good. All right. Good.
Awesome. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm getting ready, gearing for the holidays, going back to Philly, hang with people, watch the Eagles win more games.
Nice.
And I got a ton of music that I got to get to, so I'm just going to kind of relax for a little while before I get deep into music and songs and going next year and everything. But it's really good. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling good, so I just want to stay that way and hanging out with you guys.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. I will say, as a Giant fan, the Phillies back with Cunningham, just it was constant every game.
Hey man, when the Eagles won, when they won the championship, and then the Phillies lost to San Diego,
Yeah.
I mean, we have droughts, and
right.
out of somewhere we win or almost win. So I get a jacket, I put plastic over it, and I never wear it. It's a trophy, man. It's not something that I wear. Outside of Philadelphia, people go, "What?"
That's awesome. Well, we were we reference your conversation a lot as well because we love the journey that you were on and the stories that you told us about the some of the challenges early on and the things that you overcame and getting getting the gig that you got for so long and just having that whole journey was so inspiring to us. So we really appreciated you coming on and sharing that with us and our audience.
I'm glad to, man. It's one of those things that inspires people to do things, inspired myself. And you meet a whole lot of people. I might not even have met you two. So it just connects with so many cool people, so many people that are into music, just trying to keep everything rolling and flowing like that. So, like I said before, I'm glad the both of you do what you do because it makes it gives you an uplifting thing to it, so it's not just appearing here, appearing there, and stuff like that. But when it feels fun, you go like, yeah, this is it. This is
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah, that's one of the things that George and I always talk about is that we want to make sure that if somebody is willing to give us their time, that we're going to respect them, but we also want them to have fun. We don't want
Yeah.
to sit here and throw a bunch of boring questions that you probably have heard because a million times. We want to actually just have a conversation about stuff, and I think that that's one of the successes that George and I have had was the
Right.
fact that we take that viewpoint with all our guests, and we just make sure that we take good care of them and that we make them feel like we're there in a really fun place and just kind of like in our living room, kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
right. One of the things I'm looking forward to in the back of my mind that I have to like get really focused on it is like I want to talk to a lot of musicians and I want to ask them about things that is not about music.
Right.
Oh,
Musicians get a chance to see a lot of different places and how you turn what it is that you're feeling, what you're seeing in society, what you're seeing in life, and it turns into music. But at the same time, musicians get to see a whole lot of different parts of the world and talk with other people that have been all over the place. So I like to get the what musicians come across and how it changes their life, how they think about things, and we're not just musicians, and I don't mean just as something that's miniature or anything like that, but it's you're not just a musician. Part of it is the intelligence to it. When you get to travel, you get to see how other people in different countries, you see them actually being there. You get to feel a lot of different things. And that's kind of typical what musicians do. You travel all over the place, not just in the States or Canada or this side of the world, but you can go all over the place. And I like to hear what musicians have to say about things and seeing that the in, the intellectual part of musicians that I don't hear enough about it. You
Right.
hear it in the music, but what you get to see in different countries. I just like to hear how musicians talk about things because we were there. We could be there possibly really young. You're traveling around different things and you keep traveling after this person's president, after this one is the prime minister, after this one
Right.
been there and you're playing, you exchange your music for being there. And I think that's highly over or underrated. The
Yes.
mind of a musician is different.
yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's really interesting because you start also realizing that musician will go and play maybe 2 hours show, maybe a couple of, and then they could spend 10 hours at a city if they have to get there, and you have to wonder like, are you reading anything? What was the hotel like? What was the food like? Did what do you do to stay in shape? What do you do for mental focus?
Right.
There's a lot of the conversation. Who did you meet?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a
Yes.
lot of there's a big whole thing there that hasn't been really done. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a few years now, and sometimes I've been in countries where, young. I may have mentioned this before. They're carrying rifles on because they're in the airports, and they're 22 years old, and they see you carrying a guitar. They go, is that a real electric guitar? And you got this AK-47, you know.
Oh.
You're like, is that a real AK-47?
I see around because they're not supposed to do that, you know. And I said, no, I'll open it like I'm doing something, like I'm checking it, and you can have a look at it. And they bend over, and along with them bending over, the rifle's bending over with them. And they're all right. No, pick it up, man. Act like you're checking it out or something, like you're working. And they this big smile on their face, you know. And
Wow.
and then I close it up, and then they go back to like, okay, next, you know. And I would love to talk to them, you know, because they just want to enjoy things like that, and they're excited about that. I want to play music. I want to play guitar and things like that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
You know, so you stop taking everything for granted so much, you know.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say that, how lucky we are that we're able to do that and not have to walk around with an AK-47. Although I was from the South Bronx, so it wouldn't be that weird if I did have an AK-47, but I don't. I have a Fender Telecaster.
Wittenberg is different now. I didn't have to do like when just to get out of the cab.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, Kevin, thank you so much for stopping by. You know, we are so appreciative of you taking the time to meet with us and to hang out with us and stuff. And you're always welcome, whatever you
Absolutely.
need. You know, George and I are always here to do whatever we can. You know, to be part of the journey as well.
Man, thank you both for what you're doing, and thank you for having me and the other people that you come on, man. It's really a good flow that everything keeps going. So thanks again. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. I appreciate it.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a wonderful holiday.
Have a great Thanksgiving, great holiday.
All right, you too. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh, what a cool dude. What a cool dude.
Amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
So we are having a great show.
Wow.
We are at 52 minutes. So this is actually perfect. I mean, wow. And we had, unfortunately some others, they couldn't get on. Their schedule was booked, so they couldn't get on. But we are really grateful because we did get a lot of messages and a lot of great, actually Leslie also sent us a really nice email letting us know that they had a great time, that they wanted us to know how great this, and that was actually very nice of them as well. So, but we will come back. So where were we, George?
So we addressed the first question, right?
Right. And two more. We've like 7 minutes left, but we can talk a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay. This is our finale show. So, yeah. So that's a good point. What you learned, the perseverance of it, and really not looking, because what happens is when you're on a journey and you get something in front of you, like a barrier of some sort, that's what you're looking at.
Right.
Yes. I've learned that you can't look at the barrier. You got to look over it. And I know I'm short, but I get on a stool and I look over the barrier. And yeah, it's a tall stool. And I look over the barrier, and I'm able to really see where I want to go.
You're absolutely right. And the point is, John, that at the end of the day, you just get on my shoulders. And you can see what's down the road, and we will get there together.
You just have a shoulder fetish.
Yes, you're right.
So, but it was actually important for us to really get over that hurdle, because there were moments where we were kind of thinking, maybe we don't do this. Maybe let's just do one show a month,
right?
Or whatever we were trying to talk about. But just you keep going.
Yes.
Keep going. And I think, you and I had a good conversation. I don't know if you remember it, but we had a great conversation about, we're really doing this also for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is really also therapeutic. We enjoy doing it. And, if we have great guests and people are watching, man, that's incredible. You know what I mean? It's like, but at the end of the day, you have to make yourself satisfied with what you're doing.
Yes.
and that comes through. And I think that's one of the main reasons why it's working. It's because we're sincerely interested in what we're doing.
Right, exactly. And just one other little point I want to make on this is that, John, you and I haven't really physically been in a room
That's true.
for a long time. Okay.
Years.
Even though we grew up together playing basketball, played, as musicians, as just playing, pitching in and all these things, but we haven't been in a room in a long time. So just the fact that I get to sit down and hang out with you,
that's right,
and make jokes and talk about music and talk about life and do all these things, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of fun. It brings me back to the days where we just hung out in on Castle Hill, learning music.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, and that's another thing. Like, it's very nostalgic when you and I are chatting, and I feel like I'm back going, taking the 6 train over to Castle Hill, and you know what I mean. It just or riding my bike,
Right.
It just reminds me of those days, and it is just very cool to be able to have that experience.
Yep.
So that's like what we've learned. Who we've helped, I think it took. Oba just said it really much more eloquently than I'm going to be able to say it, but he did say something that was interesting about how we should pat ourselves on the back and say that we did do something good. We are actually doing something good, and that takes a lot sometimes, because at the end of the day, there are numbers that you look at, and maybe the numbers aren't where we want them to be, and maybe we didn't get the guests that we we wanted to get, although we've had an incredible guest, so I can't even say that. But we whatever we're looking at that maybe just like that didn't work out, we did do the show, we did put it out, and people did see it. And what I told you earlier before we went live was people are watching. I look at the numbers and I see the numbers going up. I see the number of people watching. A lot of people are watching.
Yes.
They may not comment, they may not say anything, but it's there. So so that's really important. So who we've helped, I know we've helped each other. That's one thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely helped me get better at what I'm doing, at this part of it. I think you've reached a level that you probably didn't even think you can get to, where you have now your own show, which we're going to talk about as well in a little bit. Just a wonderful advancement that you made. You know what I mean? So that's I think the key thing is about help.
Yeah, and just a quick comment on that. It's like if everybody's ever heard of the butterfly effect. It's when the butterfly is flapping its wings and there is an energy. It's actually affecting other things. Okay. There's an energy. So we're actually projecting an energy, even when we have a conversation with someone and we're laughing with them and we maybe lift their spirits, they lift our spirits. There's an energy coming across the states, that we're affecting. Maybe that person didn't have a great day, but maybe the conversation with us, maybe they had a better day, which affects their interactions, which affects other things. So we are helping, even just that one conversation, we're helping the universe in a very small way.
Yeah, Oba said it. I mean, he said the ripple. You drop
the ripple, right? Exactly.
The ripple effect. It is. And I really, really 100% believe that. And it's really hold on, I just got to write something because I don't want to forget. But
by the way, just a really quick. Okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, an aside. Just want to bring a shout out to someone who is faithfully always watches our show and likes our show, and that's Leah Friedman. So Leah, if you're out there, I just want to thank you as well for being a fan of the show. I trust me, I know you're watching out there. You hang out with us. You always put a like or a love out there. So Leah, thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of give you a little.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for doing that. That's great. Yeah, she's great. She's always supporting the show and always gives us a little heart, and we're always like, it means a lot. It's like, it's such a good flow. You know what I mean? It's again, it's that ripple effect.
Yes,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? It's like her actions just, rippled all the way over here to Nashville. And it's just really awesome. So where do we go from here is my final question. So we're going to keep going. George and I decided, what else are we going to do?
Exactly.
It's like, we like doing this.
Yes.
We have great guests. we are having fun doing it. We also are learning a lot ourselves. We're growing as individuals, and we're able to help people. Like I know we are, and that to me is really important. So I thought, why would we change that? If anything, we need to do more of it,
Right.
and we need to do it better.
Right.
We need to give more, create more value for the audience, which will lead us to the next conversation, the next part of our thing here. And that to me is really the reason why we're going to keep going, because I think it's working.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Working.
It's working, and I think the next year is going to be even bigger than the first year.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have amazing guests. We're going to there's just going to be a lot more things we do. We're going to introduce more stuff. John, you're going to mention that, right?
Yep.
And
yeah, we could talk about that right now since
Yeah.
we're almost there. So yeah, we want to bring more value and more content in a way that really means something. Something that's really precise. We have our show that we talk a lot about a lot of different things with our guests sometimes, and we have our specific shows. But we also have George is a wellness coach. He is a wellness specialist and does a wonderful show called Wellness Talk, right? And it's under the umbrella of Counterparts. It's Counterparts Wellness Talk.
Right.
And he does this show every Sunday, and you can watch it right here. If you go on to our Counterparts, right there at the bottom of the screen, counterpartsshow.com, you can check it out. He talks about best supplements for so many different things. Whenever he puts out a piece of content, I look at it and I always learn something. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Whether it's vitamin C and the importance of it, the sun. He talks about foods. He talks about exercise. Today you posted something about what people think is like a day off or a relaxation day or whatever they call it. What actually is that, and I thought that was really great. So we're going to be doing that a lot more. We're going to be bringing some really high powered we could say it. We're going to be talking to some really high-powered doctors.
Yes.
In the field of health and wellness. It's going to be really exciting, and that's going to be 2023 is going to blow your mind. The next thing is also, and let me just, I think, do I have that for you here, George? Maybe not. Is this your opening?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So, guys, if you could also go to georgebatista.com, because all the articles that I go over in my show are all posted on that site. So you guys, if you want to read the articles, or you can sign up for the newsletter, and the articles will go directly to your email, so you can go check those out.
Yeah, this is all stuff that you can research too. It's not like he's not just ripping.
No, this is definitely a peer-reviewed stuff, science and everything. So it's actual science.
Yeah.
So so you can definitely check it out, and then if you watch and listen to the show, because it's on all the platforms, so check it out.
Yeah, awesome. So that's exciting. So what? Another thing is I do a lot of social media, as some of you might know. I actually work as a social media manager for an organization here in Nashville, the National Healthcare for the Homeless Council, which I've been with for about 8 months. They're wonderful over there, and I get to do social media for them, and I also get to help people. I mean, geez, it's like an amazing thing. So I thought, I do so much of this stuff, and I've done trainings before for others, for organizations, for real estate offices, for individuals, for artists on social media, and how they can apply it to their life or to their product that they're trying to get out. I thought, okay, well, let's do something then to give more value. And what I'm going to do is it's probably going to be about 30 minutes. I'm calling it Let's Get Social.
Her legs were, she walked into the room and like a PI.
He was only about 5'1", but he had a long cigar. So that's going to be my little opening there called I hit that by accident. Actually, I didn't mean to hit that. I thought it was a picture. Yeah, it sounded like it was planned, but I didn't really mean that. What I wanted to do, I wanted to hit this just to talk about it, So anyway, it's Let's Get Social. We're going to be connecting connecting your creativity with the world is fun. So let's get social. So what I want to do is I want to do something. I want to talk about social media, but not in the sense of like, well, on Facebook, you're going to go and you're going to create this kind of post, and on LinkedIn, you're going to, no, I want to talk about the social structure that it actually, the implications of social media in our culture, like,
Right.
how is it affecting people? Is it, not all of it is good. I
Right.
mean, let's be real. You know what I mean? So I think that it's important that we have a conversation on that, but also what you can actually do that's black and white. This is what you do. Go to this website, do this, apply for this thing. This is going to give you the effects that you're looking for within the product that you want. And each week, I'm going to actually be doing one episode, and we'll be talking about that. That won't be a live show. That will be a recorded show, because I want to be showing video clips, and I'll be doing some other things as well. So that's what I'm doing. I'll also be talking about applying it to different things. So if we're talking about film, we'll be talking about applying social media to film, applying social media to music. George might chime in on that one, and we'll just have an actual conversation about music and social media. And of course, real estate and business and things that I'm familiar with. We'll be diving into that as well. So that's really something that we want to do to provide more value to the audience, to all of you that have been so kind to us and so loving, and we really appreciate you, and we really know that this is going to be a great service for everyone, and we're just happy to do it. It's a pleasure for us.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see that. So definitely.
Yeah. So I got two more announcements, and then we're going to get out of here. So if you're still hanging out there with us, give us a thumbs up, and thank you, because we love you, because that is awesome. We appreciate it. So the next announcement is that next year, the show, some of our older episodes that we've shot and some of our new episodes are going to be on BronxNet, which is a network in the Bronx. And so we're going to be actually having our show on there. We don't have a schedule just yet. I need to actually speak to the programmer and the program director and figure out when our time slot's going to be. And then we'll have that information. So you'll be able to catch all those episodes on BronxNet. Anyone watching in the Bronx or New York, I think BronxNet goes everywhere if you have cable or something. But yes, so that's on BronxNet. And lastly, this is our final show, our final live show of 2022. But the month of December is going to be our best of Counterparts 2022. So we are going to, every night, we're going to actually run one of our episodes, the best of. We're going to run them all, I think, the way we've mapped them out. Yeah. One every evening at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to go on. You can watch the episode. If you have, we won't be live there, but if you have any questions and you reply and you send a message anywhere, it will reach us. So we will be able to actually respond. Even if the show is not live, we'll get the messages. So December, you think you're not going to see us till January? Well, you're going to see us every day in December. So, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that the content on some of these episodes is really, really, it's really great. I mean, it really is something that you can hold on to and be like, this is something that I can apply right now to my life.
Absolutely.
I mean, Oba alone, his episode was, we're gonna have that on there as well. So that's my last announcement. And I think that's all I have. George, do you have anything that you want to actually say?
No, I just again, I think it's going to be cool because it's going to give the chance of people who didn't catch some of those shows.
Yeah,
they can definitely look at all these amazing.
And this is just a small fraction.
Small fraction. I mean, we've had Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. We've had Emmy Award winners. We've had
people that work with Oscar winners, and
yes, we've had amazing musicians, and we had a 8-time Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, on. Kenny Aronoff, who's played on 300 he's played on as many album sales as 300 million.
Worth of album sales, which is, I mean, that's just, I can't even my brain
And of
can't
course, Steve Smith
comprehend.
was on. Yeah, I know, right? Steve Smith was on twice with us.
Yes,
And,
twice. Yep. Who's
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Rock
the
and Roll
drummer
Hall
for
of Fame.
Journey,
David
and
Sanchez, who was with the E Street Band.
David Sanchez, also in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just had an amazing year, and again, so grateful to all those guests that took the time to spend with us. A show that really, when we started, we were like, nobody was watching, and now we have more people watching, and next year is going to be a lot more, and we're going to keep going. But for them to actually come on our show was such a kind gesture.
No, absolutely. It's they could be doing so many other things, and they took the time out to hang out with us, so it's great. We're just honored by all the folks that came on with us, and you guys out there, if you like the show, interact with us, tell your friends and family about the show. Anybody who's interested would like to watch just two funny Puerto Ricans hang out with folks and stuff like that, and just have a good time. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I love it. And we don't say it, we actually rarely say, like, hit the like button and subscribe, and we don't say that.
Right.
We probably should. I don't think we're doing the right thing on that area, but if you do like it, and if you do actually are watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, hit the little bell so you get notified whenever our show goes live. And yeah, and tell your friends, and I think you'll really enjoy the episodes. I mean, if you're interested in film, music, nutrition, philosophy, fitness, so many different things that you can check out the episodes. Actresses, actors, people that are in front of the camera, on
Directors,
Netflix and TV shows that are like really well known. You'll see these episodes, and they really give you a good insight into how they got there and the challenges that they ran into, but how they overcame them. And that's really what we're doing here, is really showing how to overcome obstacles, really, because we're all trying to get somewhere in life, and we could all use that. And this is therapy for me and George. This is what helps us. So, all right, we don't want to overstate our welcome. We're here at an hour and 12 minutes. Next year we'll be coming back. We might be doing some longer episodes. We haven't decided to. You're gonna get this. It's gonna be a wonderful thing, but there will be other things. There will be other things added to it as well. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. God bless you all.
Happy holidays.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful holiday season, all of you out there. George, thank you very much. It was a great year. Let's kick some butt 2023, and let's make it happen. Want to thank our guests that came in, Oba and John and Kevin, for stopping by. And we appreciate y'all very much.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, everyone. See y'all in 2023. And as always,